bar design that is a extreme 3D Hershey's bar where the wrapper is ripped open and part of the bar is coming out, a little square is ripped off, and there is a bite taken out of it. I love doing these little candy bar designs, and I actually really enjoyed doing the Hershey's one because there's more sculpting to do as far as the texture of the Hershey's bar specifically, instead of like a Twix or a Snickers where everything kind of happened on the inside and you don't get to do all of the little fun detail stuff on the actual chocolate. But a Hershey's bar has the perforations and there's just more to do on it. So I hope you guys love this one as much as I do. If you'd like to see any of my past candy themed designs like this one, I will put links to them in the description box below, so check for those, and I will see you next time. Bye!
So we're going to begin with an overlay of Cover Pink acrylic. Part of the reason I always do Cover Pink on these designs is one, continuity from almost, even though this is an unofficial series, it is kind of a series and they do all go together at this point just because I've done all of them in the same way on the same almond nail. So I'm trying to keep them so that they correlate together. But also, I really like just a smooth, almost invisible background, and there's nothing more kind of, I don't know, unassuming than a Cover Pink overlay. So then we're going to file that into shape with an E-file just to make sure it is nice and smooth and, you know, pretty and all that jazz. So now on a silicone mat, we're going to be painting a rectangle of brown gel polish. I would really recommend using a gel polish that covers in one coat so that you don't have to do a second coat. Just bear that in mind. Also, some are a little bit more flexible than others, so choose one that is marketed towards natural nails and not marketed towards being applied over the top of an enhancement. That's just kind of a nice little helpful thing to keep in mind, is because ones that are made for natural nails are usually slightly more flexible because natural nails bend. And if a gel polish isn't flexible, the nail bends, the gel polish does not, the gel polish chips off quicker. So the flexible ones are better for natural nails anyways. So we're going to be writing the word Hershey's on top of our little wrapper beginning here. So when you're writing this, you want to try to find a metallic silver paint. And I know that that's not super easy to locate. I know that I've seen people searching for them specifically. The one that I have is a gel paint that is, it's like a mirror gel paint that's from Red Iguana, and I can put a link to that in the description box below. Otherwise, Madame Glam's metallic silver base is a beautiful thing to use for this type of design. So either one of those, I've used them both, and I would say the Madame Glam one is a little thinner than the one from Red Iguana. So if you want something that's slightly more watery in texture, that's good, but it does seem to thicken quickly on the brush. So you have to just use little bits at a time and replenish it. Otherwise your brush can get kind of gunky feeling. Whereas the Red Iguana one starts out significantly thicker, but it doesn't change. The consistency doesn't change. So that's kind of up to you what you want to do with it. But I would recommend both of them. I've used both of them. It's really whichever one I grab is kind of what I use. So then after we have the word Hershey's written out, and I was flash carrying it as I went, you're going to write milk chocolate underneath it with white gel paint. For this, I would really recommend using Madame Glam's gel paints. They're the best that I've used personally. And then after that, I'm going to apply a thin layer of gel top coat over the wrapper, cure it once more. As thin as you can get that layer of top coat while having a full complete layer is what you want to do. So now I'm going to sculpt my chocolate bar with some brown acrylic on a nail form backing. Do the first layer without really worrying too much about, the textures, the little segments sculpted in. If you have time and your acrylic is going to work for it, go ahead and do it. If you don't, it's fine. So what I'm doing is I'm going to cut out one of my thirds of a row and put that to the side, and I'm using my little X-Acto knife or craft knife for this because I want one piece broken off. So I'm going to have one piece broken off on one side of the bar, and I'm planning on carving out a little bite taken out of the other side. So leave the opposite side as is for right now, but then section by section or row by row, go through and sculpt in the different little segments of the Hershey's bar. So we're going to do the first one, add another layer of acrylic over the top of it, kind of tuck it in so it stays in that area, and then you're going to separate each segment, and then after that you're going to take and you're going to use the tip of your brush to create a little indent in the top of the piece, of each piece. It doesn't have to be overly detailed. Bear in mind the majority of this bar is going to be covered up by the wrapper. So even though, like I said, I'm excited because we get to carve and sculpt and do some extra fun stuff, most of it with these designs is all about the wrapper. The candy bar isn't an afterthought per se, but it isn't the main art focus here. The detail on the wrapper is really what draws your eye in. And then afterwards you go, hey, look at that. There's the cutest little candy bar tucked in there. So don't take it easy or, skip out on important details with the candy bar, but just keep in mind you don't have to, go overboard either, I guess. You know, it's all about a balance. So we're going to do the last section. That one really is just about pointless to detail. I did it anyway, but I knew it was going to be completely covered by the wrapper. So if you were going to skip out on something, that would be the thing right there. But it doesn't take much extra time since you're doing it anyway. You might as well. Then I'm going to file this little candy bar into shape with my hand file, straightening out those edges, trying to make sure everything looks crisp and clean and precise. And I'm also going to take my e-file, like I said before, and I'm going to carve a bite out of the other side. Really quickly, just pressing a cone-shaped bit into it, and it'll get a nice little chomp. Then we're going to peel the label off of our silicone mat, and then we're going to trim it so that the edges are super, super straight. So using a manicure scissors is usually what I use for this kind of thing. I'm just going to go around in a little circle, cutting the sides so that they are much more clean. And then I'm going to flip it over, going to set my chocolate bar on the inside, and then I'm going to close the wrapper around it and glue it. Try to, avoid gluing it to the bar as much as possible. And if you are going to glue it to the bar directly, which you probably will because it just kind of becomes necessary, glue it towards the back side of the bar, away from where you have the bite and the section taken out, so that when you go to rip it open, you're not battling your nail glue when you're ripping the wrapper open. So you don't want it to be glued near the area that you're going to have exposed. Then glue the two ends of the wrapper shut. There's the first end, and then I'm just going to cut it. It seemed a little bit too long. I'm going to re-glue that since I just cut off what I glued. It's about par for the course. And then after you have that end done, you're going to glue the other end shut as well. So even though it is going to end up being open, all of these wrappers were at one point shut before somebody wanted to eat them and ripped them open. So you are going to glue them shut just as if you were going to leave it like that. And if you were making little miniatures for, say, a dollhouse scene or earrings or something, you could just make these bars and put the wrapper and put something inside, and you wouldn't have to worry about sculpting the actual chocolate bar. But oh, they're so cute, those little wrapped candy bars. I think they're adorable. But then you're going to cut the gel, rip it open, and then I'm going to use some clear acrygel to attach this down. And I get asked all the time why I use clear acrygel instead of using acrylic. So I find that clear acrygel holds the cured gel top coat better to the nail than other products. Nail glue is a joke. You'd have to file it and buff it and create something for the nail glue to grip to, whereas clear acrygel really seems to do the job. So it works out well. So after I have those little wrapper pieces kind of pulled out to the sides and secured, then I'm going to apply a little bit of some 3D glaze to the exposed chocolate. And that is it. Like I said, I have a bunch of past chocolate videos, so I will definitely put links to those in the description box below. But otherwise, here is a Melody Minutes.
Push it just a little bit closer to the edge, okay? All right, hold your breath. now say something.
Good night, secret
Good job,
Nice
Melody.
job, Melody.
I'm
You want to try it?
again.
Okay. I might not get to use this thing.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you like this video as much as I do. And if you are interested in seeing any more of my past chocolate designs, don't forget to subscribe because I'm always making new ones. See you next time. Bye.